got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. The song continued to play in my mind as the lust for Senora Martinez returned to me from my high school years. This is not a bad beginning to spring break. I walked into the theater only to find there were not many available seats. However, there was one open next to Senora Martinez. I immediately plopped down next to her. She looked at me and smiled. The show began, and I tried to keep my focus on it and not on her. Suddenly, she reached across the armrest and gently placed her hand upon mine. Thinking I had unwittingly and through some Freudian slip touched her hand, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She looked at me with her bewitching green eyes and smiled. I looked away, fearing that she would be able to read my mind and be turned off by the fact that I was thinking, "Baby, you and me ain't nothing but mammals. Why don't we do it like that?" Just watch the play, man, I told myself, trying not to read anything into this innocent jostling for armrest position. Then I felt a tingling on my hand and instinctively slapped the insect that was crawling on it. It was not an insect, it was her hand. "Sorry."
No, it's okay. I didn't mean to tickle you.
"You can have the armrest."
No, I don't want it. You can have it.
"Well, then why are you rubbing my hand?"
Oh.
No. Oh my God, this could be the best thing that has ever happened to me. What if she wants to have sex? I decided to test the waters. I strategically placed my hand on the armrest and waited. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and placed it on her inner thigh. "The waters are warm." She began to move it slowly up her leg. I panicked. This is not right. I'm supposed to be supporting my best friend by watching this terrible play. And what are all these other people going to think if they look over and see me fondling my high school Spanish teacher? Even though I was now in college, it still seemed wrong. I mean, what would my girlfriend think? Yes, she was being prude, but I wasn't quite sure that this behavior justified, her behavior justified this. As I sat there with my hand between Senora Martinez's legs, my girlfriend felt miles away. When the show ended, I slowly and somberly removed my hand from her pants so as to politely applaud.
I'm going back to have some coffee and dessert at home.
My heart sank.
You are welcome to join me.
My heart rose. But I stood there amazed that this 34-year-old sexy woman just invited 19-year-old me back to her house. She gave me an inviting cock of the eyebrow. Sure, Senora Martinez. I love coffee and dessert." She placed her hand on my chest.
Call me Suzette.
"Okay, Suzette. Where do you live?"
Why don't you just follow me?
She turned and made a beeline for the door. I stared at her as she walked away. I was enraptured by her slim, petite figure. What an ass. I realized that I was being left behind, so I began to hurdle people in a single bound to catch up with her. The drive to her apartment was a blur of stoplights, cars, and bad 80s music. The whole time, all I could think about was sex. When we arrived at her apartment, I realized there was neither coffee nor dessert. That's a shame, I was kind of hungry. She quickly heated up some water and brewed some tea. We settled on the sofa and watched television. Unsure of how to get things started, and because I was a little bit nervous, I began to talk nonstop. "Oh look, Letterman's still on." Some people say that I look like Letterman, but I don't really see that. But what a cool job, though. I would love to have it, interviewing all those celebrities. Realizing what she was up against, she placed her cup on the coffee table and began to kiss me. Gardenias, I know that smell. That's the smell of my girlfriend. Don't think about that. A few moments afterwards, he took my hand and led me to the bedroom. I was no longer thinking about gardenias. Instead, I thought, dreams really do come true. We began to undress one another, and I encountered the arch enemy of every inexperienced male lover, the Brassiere. I pulled, twisted, and stretched that white lace thing to no avail, but I kept kissing her. Don't let her know you really don't know what you're doing. Finally, she said to me, just hold the tab with your index finger and pinch with your thumb. I pinched all up and down that thing. Nothing worked. Let me help you, she said, and undid it with the ease and skill of a professional. We continued our kissing, fondling, and disrobing until she said, why don't I turn on some music? She went into the living room. Then suddenly I realized I was completely naked and standing exposed in the middle of her bedroom. Overcome with self-consciousness, I jumped back into bed. I heard the music begin to play, and I thought, Enya? How am I supposed to keep an erection with Enya? I mean, it couldn't have been something like Barry White or Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. She climbed back into bed and said, how's that? Perfect. We continued our foreplay, and then another archenemy reared his ugly head. Do you have a condom? No. I sensed defeat. You should always be prepared, you know? Look in the nightstand. Jackpot! I quickly tore open the wrapper and proceeded to try and wrap it up. The only problem was, because of my nerves, haste, and the darkness, I had gotten the condom started inside out, and it was not rolling into place. I looked at her, and she was lying there, naked, willing, and ready. I felt my body tingle with excitement and anticipation. I fussed with the condom some more, but couldn't unroll it. Finally, she offered to help, but by this time, my embarrassment had gotten the better of me, and my tool was not operational. That's okay. Just lie down and wait a minute. She helped me lie down. She began to kiss my chest, and she kissed her way down to my stomach, and then down to my... And just like that, the tools were operational. But she did not waste any time letting me putz with the condom. She grabbed another one, ripped open the package, and before I could say Trojan, I was in. As we continued our fornication, she pulled me into her with more passion and vigor and whispered, Usted es un hombre fuerte. Holy crap, she's speaking Spanish. This is amazing. Te quiero. Yeah. Oh my God. Think about taking out the trash. I tried not to climax. Sí, es mi el amor. Yeah. Oh, más difícil. Oh, no se detienen. Oh. No se detienen. And I'm done. 5 minutes of pure heavenly bliss. I'm sure she was satisfied. Afterwards, she rolled over and went to sleep. I wasn't sure what to do because I thought I was the one that was supposed to do it. So I just got dressed and left. As soon as the door closed behind me, I regretted not leaving a note. I never saw her again. The rest of my spring break was spent pining Senora Martinez. After I returned to college, my girlfriend and I did eventually have sex. The only problem was I asked her if she could speak Spanish. That night with Senora Martinez, as awkward as it was, changed me. I became bolder and more confident with women. I began to pick up on the subtle touches and glances that are invitations. I even went out and bought an Enya CD. And to this day, when I'm in the throes of passion, in my head, I still hear her whisper, "Usted es un hombre fuerte."